That sure is a lot of clothes. And yes, I only have 2 children. The morning air is a little more crisp and cooler now, since it is officially fall season, which means that we have to look over the boys' wardrobes to see what still fits from fall and winter of last year. But before I even do that, I need to make sure that we do a huge KonMari method on all of the children's clothes, because I know as we have been decluttering that basement, there are a ton more bins of clothes in there that we have to go through. So to get started, my camera shy hubby brought all of the totes up from the basement, and I'm just stacking them all up so that you can see just how many we've found in the basement as we've been decluttering. And as you can see, there's a lot of bins that were down there. And this is just over the years since literally infancy, I have saved a lot of their clothes. And even though we've decluttered a ton of clothes in the past, it was amazing to still find so many bins left over that they are pretty much stacked up just as high as I am. But that's okay. We'll go through it. And give it a really good decluttering. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking all the clothes out of all of the bins and start stacking them on the couch. This is kind of how Marie Kondo would like you to do it, is getting everything out, laid out in front of you so that you can see it all in one humongous pile. And as I put all of the clothes out onto the couch, I was going to address a few things that I hear a lot on my channel. And some things that I hear is that you must have spent a ton of money on clothes. You probably have so much debt. Well, I'm actually here to tell you that I'm pretty much debt-free, except for the mortgage, and that you'd be amazed on how many free clothes you can get. There's Free Cycle. People would be dropping off hand-me-downs to me all the time when the kids were little, and you could get a full box of clothes at a yard sale for $1. So it's very easy to accumulate a large amount of clothes without actually paying for them. The next thing I read a lot is, well, why do you hold on to so much of the clothes? That much clutter gives me anxiety. Well, with hoarding disorder, it's actually the opposite. The hoard and clutter actually has soothed my anxiety. Hoarding disorder stems from depression, anxiety, ADHD, OCD, PTSD, and it makes me feel secure. All of the items bring back a memory of when the boys were little, and it soothes my heart, and it ignites the memory as if it is playing in my head right now in front of me. And I feel happy and joyful and just swimming in those beautiful memories of them being little. And in those moments, my anxiety doesn't exist. My PTSD doesn't exist either. That's why I cling to it, because it is a coping mechanism for those feelings. So now, how do you turn this around when you have hoarding disorder? How can you start to let go of these bigger tossy piles if this is how you cope with the stresses of life? Well, know that it takes time. Know that it starts within your heart and self-assurance that you can do this. You can turn this around. You just have to do baby step decluttering. I've been doing this for almost 3 years now. I didn't put a time cap on myself. I just took each day and let go of what felt right in my heart, what I could handle. And over time, by doing it each and every day, my tossy piles became bigger. Because not only did I strengthen my decluttering muscles, I also strengthened my soul. by letting go of just a little bit each time made me realize that I was strong enough to let it go and to still be okay, to still function, to still not have a lot of anxiety. That's why I will always tell you to declutter what feels right within your heart so that you can be successful to keep moving forward. I honestly rarely use logic when letting go of my clothes because I know the kids have too many clothes. I know that they're not going to wear it all, but I made the decision to keep the clothes with an emotion, not with logic. So to solve it, I have to use emotion to be like, you know what? I'm ready to let this go. And here is a perfect example of logic versus emotion, which kind of aligns with Marie Kondo. She wants you to look for things that spark joy. Well, these 2 bins of baby clothes spark extreme, deep emotional joy. I love these years when my babies were little, and I still need to hold on to them. Why? Because I had 3 miscarriages, and I'm still trying to work through the emotions of not being able to carry a 3rd child and trying to still make peace that most likely a 3rd child will not happen with our family, and that I feel extreme regret for waiting so long, and now I'm older, so naturally it is a little harder to conceive than when I was in my late 20s. So it's hard, and this is how I process these emotions until it becomes acceptance. But for today, I will let this pair of jeans go right here. I do feel in my heart that I am strong enough to let this go and maybe bless another baby with it. And I can also let go of this blanket. I can let go of this receiving blanket because I do have some of my more favorite ones saved. And same with this onesie. There's other onesies that I like better, and we can do this. So this is what I'm letting go of as far as baby clothes go. And for me, that is a huge accomplishment. So now that my baby clothes are safe and stored, here's all the other clothes that were in the bins, that were in the closets. Here is everything else. And by me holding on to those very emotional spark joy baby clothes, I'm actually feeling really strong with this pile. I am actually feeling like we can absolutely let go of a lot of this, because this is a lot of stuff. And in true Marie Kondo style, we have taken all of the children's clothes, we have laid it out all over the couch so that we can see everything and start to see what sparks joy and what does not. And what does not spark joy is what we're going to let go of. So when you have an overwhelming amount of stuff and you don't know where to start, well, I like to start with the easiest thing, and Marie Kondo would like you to start with what sparks joy within you. So for me, what's easiest and still sparks joy is the boys' clothes that we took out of the closet. A lot of this stuff they're still wearing, and it's just a matter of sorting through what have they outgrown. What has Brandon outgrown, but Tyler can now fit into? That way we can put it into Tyler's closet. So this, I actually can use logic and practicality to go through the clothes because I have not deeply sentimentally attached myself to the older clothes, just the baby clothes. And this actually makes it a lot easier for me during the decision-making process. Now this pile right here, Tyler has outgrown. They're not sparking joy. So we're going to let this go. And this pile right here, Tyler has to try on to see if they still fit. They do spark a lot of joy for him, but if it doesn't fit, we're going to have to let him go. Now let's move on to the pile on the couch, which I know are clothes from ages 18 months all the way up to about 6, 7, and 8. All of these clothes right here do not fit the boys right now at this moment. So I'm actually going to start with the older clothes because this right now I can feel is a breakthrough in recovering in my hoarding disorder. This is the first time I can look at a pile of clothes and know that I'm ready to let it all go. That I can actually just find a few pieces that spark joy for me, where before it all sparked joy and I was desperately trying to find the pieces that didn't. And I can finally do the Kamari method the way she intended it, just picking the pieces that spark joy. And it doesn't mean that everything sparks joy. It just means that there are certain things that stand out more than the rest, and that I actually feel detached from the rest of it. And I can finally do what I've always wanted to do, the freedom of donating it, giving it to somebody else, and paying it forward to help another family. I'm finally free. I'm finally free of the vice of holding on to all of these clothes. And I'm happy to say that this is what I'm letting go of. I am letting go of all of these clothes. And it's almost a new feeling to me that I'm letting go of more things that I'm keeping, that there were more things that I wasn't attached to than what sparked joy, which I'm guessing is what most people feel like. But to me, this is brand new. I didn't have to touch every single piece of clothing this time to see if I was ready to let it go. I didn't have to make long, hard decisions on whether I should keep it or not. It was actually very easy to be like, no, it's good. Let's give it to somebody else. And in case you just noticed that there's a little furry friend in our pile of clothes, well, our Brandon had put little Piggy into the pile because he wanted to make an appearance and to say how proud JJ was of mommy letting go of so many clothes in one sitting. And by letting go of all those clothes, that means we have 5 new empty storage bins that we can use for sorting and organizing as we continue to declutter that hoarded basement. And these are the bins that contain the clothes that still spark a lot of joy within my heart. And it's mostly newborn to about 18 months old, of holiday and special occasions. And I'm sure in the future, I'll even be able to scale this back even more. And for the rest of the clothes, we're not throwing them out. No. We're going to be giving them away. Like this bag right here is going to someone on our Facebook Townsgiving page, and they're coming to pick it up right now. And for me to be successful, I have to give it to somebody else. It cannot be thrown into a landfill. So most of these clothes are also going to go to the sharing table. I host that in my mommy's group at church. That way, other children can use them, and it's a blessing to other families. And now I can finally hang up the clothes that spark joy and still fit them so that they have clothes for this fall, winter season. And it's pretty awesome that I can actually fit all the seasons in their closets. I used to have to switch out the warm weather and the cold weather, but now that we've pared it down so much, all seasons fit into the closets. And with Brandon, I can actually see what he needs because he's the oldest and he's the first one outgrowing the clothes. And it makes it so much easier to keep the inventory. And I'm just so happy to say that we did it. Someone like me, someone who's recovering in her hoarding disorder, can actually curate clothes, can actually have a functioning wardrobe for her boys, and also teach them that we can let go of clothes that don't spark joy. We don't keep clothes that don't fit us anymore. And we can organize our closets so that it's easy in the morning to pick out what we're going to wear and how to properly care for them. And I'm here to tell you that if you struggle with hoarding disorder, You can also get to this point too. You can heal, you can recover. Just do your baby step decluttering. Only let go what feels right in your heart. Do it every day, consistently. And I promise you'll get to this point.
Now, it's important to point out that that video was 4 years ago, around this time in 2021. And I want to compare the then from now because now in 2025, I still just have the 4 bins 4 years later. These are the 4 bins. This one was the last one that I saved because it was for ages 4 to 6, which was convenient because I had found Brandon's Kindergarten Rocks t-shirt for some photo ops because he is starting his senior year, my oldest one. And I just had an aha moment when I looked at that video and said, I can't create those videos anymore. We don't have that amount of clothes. For the past 4 years, all the new clothes that have come in and they've outgrown went straight out. Everything is contained in both of their closets and drawers, and it's all the seasons. Because when we do go through the clothes, they're immediately given away, put in a yard sale. We've sold the higher quality pieces on Facebook Marketplace. And it's just a testimony to show how far we came because I wasn't able to let go of any clothes. And yeah, maybe because the clothes are older, it was a little more easier for me to detach. But the fact was that we finally had created a habit of it must be contained. All seasons must be contained in your closet or your drawers. And when a new season approaches, like now, when we're going into fall and winter, we need to go in, see what fits you, what doesn't fit you, what you don't want, make those decisions, and get these clothes out of here. And that's why I can't make these huge kids declutter videos anymore. But it shows growth, it shows expansion, it shows maturity, and it shows success for my boys because they're not holding on to the clothes anymore. They're able to let go of the clothes and not have a hoard of clothes like their mother used to have. It is possible to recover in hoarding disorder. And my hope and my prayer is that this video motivated and encouraged you to clean, declutter, and let go of something in your home today, too.